About 10 years ago, my resident wrote in her weekly reflection, "I didn't know what I didn't know." My name is Stephanie Gaston, and I'm a board certified ambulatory care pharmacist in Portland, Oregon. When I read that, "I didn't know what I didn't know," it resonated with me because I was on a search of my own to find a way to strengthen my skills and reinforce my knowledge after 10 years of practice. As healthcare providers, we all continue to learn beyond graduation to ensure we provide quality care. But have you ever thought about not knowing what you don't know? How having a different level of knowledge of something might change an approach or recommendation? For me, what I didn't know turned out to be board certification. Over the next few minutes, I will share my journey with you, how it has changed my perspectives and practices towards my patients and my students, and how board certification can be a good fit for you. After graduating from Oregon State University in 2001, I moved directly into community practice, ready to use my newly minted skills and knowledge. I stayed current with continuing education and training, but over time I wondered if there was something more. Did I want to go back to school and pursue a PharmD and maybe a residency? Or was there something that would add to both my formal education as well as what years of practice had taught me? And then I found it, board certification in ambulatory care pharmacy. BCACP, or BCACP, as one of my colleagues jokingly calls me, was introduced by BPS in 2009, and at the time was a fairly new designation. For me, it represented that perfect fit of advancing my knowledge while crediting what I had learned on the job. I quietly studied statistics and test review books on evenings and weekends, during baseball practices and on lunch breaks, relearning what I hadn't used in a while, and learning new therapies, treatment guidelines, and patient care models. The time invested paid off in the fall of 2013 when I was able to send my first email with my new credentials and wait to see who would ask about it first. It didn't take long before an email went out to my team, and the replies and phone calls of congratulations that shortly followed gave me a huge sense of pride and accomplishment. Even today, taking calls from colleagues asking if I know anything about a certain drug treatment or an unusual dosing for a medication makes me smile and think about my position as one of only a few BCACPs at my workplace. The advanced CEs that are needed to maintain certification align me in a position to be a trusted reference for my peers. And while I sought certification to challenge and better myself, I knew I was also doing it for my patients and my students. Thinking of my patients, there is no better feeling than when someone stops by with a drug question and starts with, "Well, I wanted to check with you before I asked my doctor." That is what a healthcare team is all about, and a team that I am proud to be a part of. They may not know the significance of my green pin, but it's a reminder to me of why I chose to pursue it. As for my P1 students at Pacific University, they know right away what board certification signifies and ask lots of questions about the process and the payoff. They are so eager to learn from and about their instructors, both personally and professionally. And as the semesters continued, I often found myself staying after class to answer questions about their family members' health and medication journeys, as well as some of their own. Precepting IPPI and APPI students and PGY1 residents at my practice site has been a bright spot in my career. Using the knowledge provided by maintaining my certification through in-depth CEs ensures that I am providing them an environment that supports their learning and critical thinking skills in a real-world environment. At the end of each shift or class, I love to ask my students, "What did you learn today?" as a way to make sure that I taught them at least one thing to remember, but because I enjoy seeing what pearls they took from their day with me. Sharing what I continue to learn with them is the least I can do to give back to the profession. Board certification has benefited me, it benefits my patients and my students, and here's how it can benefit you. Pharmacy is a fast-changing profession, perhaps now more than ever, New disease states, clinical responsibilities, therapies, and treatments, and there will always be more on the horizon. Board certification and maintenance keeps you at the forefront of these changes and is achievable to everyone who's qualified. You can be a BPharm graduate like me, PharmD, post-residency, MBA, MPH, whatever. Board certification will add to your value in your practice. 14 certifications, including AmCare, Critical Care, Pediatrics, Geriatrics, and so on. And you'll be joining a network of tens of thousands of pharmacists and growing. If I can do this, you can do it. And maybe your I didn't know what I didn't know could be board certification too.